Hey, what's good, y'all? Fusion here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about this, a couple of these players that are being traded. Yesterday, Pascal got traded to the Pacers, um, and I thought that was interesting. I thought he was either going to the Warriors or even like the Mavs. So I was surprised to see that he went to the Pacers. I think he made that Pacers team better. Um, Tyrese Halliburton is out right now, but once he does return, he will have another offensive option to feed the ball to. Um, Solid rebounder, solid slasher. I think that Pascal is a pretty good pickup for them. I will do a full video on that trade probably tomorrow. But yeah, let's go ahead and look through a couple of these names here. Dejounte Murray, I see he has been on the trade block for a while. He's averaging 21, 5 and 5, 47 for the field, 39 for a three-pointer. I think that the Dejounte Murray and Trae Young combo didn't work. So I could see them trying to make some changes there that way. Seeing what can and can't work. As well as, finding a good spot for him and the Hawks finding something worth worth that trade. Because it does look like I could personally see Trae Young leaving in the next few weeks. Few seasons. I don't know why I said few weeks, but I think that'll be interesting. But there's a couple places that could use a point guard that has that scoring ability and all-around play. They're saying Philly, Warriors, and Lakers. I could see him, well, Knicks and Pistons as well, but I could see him moving to the West. I could see him really working in with the Warriors. I do think that the Warriors need to find something new, move on from Klay Thompson and that type of play, and find someone better. And I think this could work. Same thing with the Warriors. The Lakers, they are looking for a consistent point guard. I think he's better than DAngelo Russell. And if we can move DAngelo Russell to the bench or just offload them all together, I think that'd be better for us having a Dejounte Murray. There's a couple more people here. Dorian Finney-Smith, he's averaging 9, 5, and 1 assist. He's a solid big man. He can help you out as far as rebounding, garbage buckets. Pretty solid player. I don't know many people. Well, I could think of a couple teams that could use someone like that, but I don't see him being a highly sought after player. Gordon Hayward, averaging 15, 5 and 5, 47 from the field, 36 from the three. Since his injury, he has sort of been easing up. But he'll still get you 15. I can see him coming off the bench and being a solid player for a few teams. I do think that Charlotte is trying to offload a couple people. I think they're also trying to get rid of Terry Rozier, which I think he would work well with the Lakers. A shooting guard who can create for themselves. I think that works well. I could see Gordon either going to the Warriors, or I could see him sneaking into the Rockets. I feel like a vet who can still produce and has some sort of experience. Maybe not playoff experience or that much playoff experience, but someone who has been around the game and can find a way to score is always a valuable asset among young players. And he's a Trendemere main, so I don't want him on the Lakers because of that. No, I'm just kidding. Zach LaVine, I think that the Bulls are trying to make the most moves. I see that DeMar DeRozan, he's on the trade block. Zach LaVine's on the trade block. and it does look like Alex Caruso could be traded. Andre Drummond. So there's a couple options here, and I could see a package of Zach LaVine and somebody. And I could see him either going to the Lakers or the Warriors. And a sleeper team, I could see him going to Brooklyn. I could see a Spencer Dinwiddie plus a couple for just Zach LaVine. I think that he's averaging 25 and 4 in these past 24 games. He can create for himself. A very athletic guy. Can finish. Can play that point position. But would rather him play that 2 guard. Shooting 45 from the field, 35 from 3. I personally think he's solid, but I know a couple teams that say his weakness is defense, but if we are really just getting him and losing an Austin Reeves or a DAngelo Russell who already doesn't play defense, I think we'll be all right. That being said, the Lakers should be pushing for Zach LaVine, but if we get an Andre Drummond, which we need another big man who can play defense. Christian Wood is not that guy. He's the offensive center, but we already have that. And pair him up with AD, give AD another opportunity to move to that 4 spot. So some matchups against like bigger teams like the Nuggets, the 76ers having that big man, and throwing different looks at Joel Embiid and Jokic could work. But throwing an AD at him or Andre Drummond, I see Clint Capella, he's on the trade block. I would prefer Andre Drummond because I think you can sort of underpay him and he still be useful. He's a lob threat at all times, a really solid rebounder. And some nights he'll give you 10. It may not be a pretty 10, but he'll give you 10 for sure. So you can expect from him 8 and 8 on a consistent basis. So there's an option, but I would like Zach LaVine. I think he could work in LA. A highlight guy, can score the ball. He's a younger guy. He's about 29, I think. I think that the only problem with trying to get a DeMar DeRozan is he's 34. So if you are getting him right now, it is because you are trying to win this year. And I don't think the Lakers can win this year. So I wouldn't be mad at getting a Zach LaVine, letting him gel. I don't know about a finals appearance, but if we can get to the conference finals and make it competitive, then I think that would prove that getting Zach LaVine worked. So Zach LaVine to the Lakers should mean conference finals or above. But again, there's a couple players on that Bulls team that could really lead. Okoro for the Cavs, he's averaging 9, about 4 rebounds and 2 assists, shooting 48 from the field at 35 from 3. I could see that this Cavs team is trying to make a couple moves. I personally think Karis LeVert should move on from the Cavs. I don't think they're using him properly. He's a very key offensive asset. Him coming off the bench or him being even a starting 2. So I think if we can't get Zach LaVine or Terry Rozier, we can underpay and get a Karis LeVert. He can get you 15, a consistent 15, and call it a day there. Get him and one other guy, but I don't really know much about Isaac Okoro, to be honest with you. Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm waiting on Tim Hardaway Jr. to be that Tim Hardaway Jr. that everybody else knows for 3 games in a row. He can do it maybe 1 or 2 games, but he's been hooping. He's averaging 18, 4, and 2 42 from the field, 37 from three. He works well with Kyrie and Luka. This lets him not have to be that main scoring guy and can come off the bench or have to be held by their third best defender, so that does help him inflate those stats. Not saying that he doesn't have that, but I do think he should be better than he is. You see a lot of skill and moves and IQ from him. It's just that some games he's just not on, and you notice that. But he's a catch and shoot threat. He's averaged 32.3 points per game while shooting 50% from the 3-point range. That is what the Lakers are looking for, someone who can catch and shoot and create for themselves, but mostly that creation. And I think that Tim Hardaway wouldn't be bad, but I could see him going to the Warriors. He's a cheaper option. I think in the long run, he's what you're looking for. I think that the only problem is he's dark skinned, and I don't think the Warriors. I'm just kidding. But yeah, Tim Hardaway Jr., solid pickup. I think he works well in in Dallas, and I think that Dallas should be doing their best to keep that team together. Maybe try to find a defensive guard or something like that. Alex Caruso, he comes to mind. Even make that trade with the Lakers. We have a couple defensive pieces here. Cam Reddish, Jared Vanderbilt, so on and so forth. I think that can be something there, personally. Denver. I don't think Denver needs to make many moves. I think they are trying to... I think they should be trying to shoot for more catch and shoot guys. More people to give Jokic his... or feed into, I think, his main skill, which is playmaking, and giving people to pass and cut or just be ready to catch and shoot works well with him. Justin Holiday, Ken Carr, two guys. I don't know them personally. I don't watch Denver Nuggets play, but I think adding more of that around Jokic works, and ain't nothing wrong with more space creating, for sure. Alec Burton, that's a name I haven't heard in a while, but has been playing well as of late. The stats don't show, but he's averaging 12, 2, and I'll throw him the 2 assists. Shooting 40% from field and 3. He's been around the league for a while. Some teams that are interested: Celtics, Nuggets, Rockets, and the 76ers. Again, someone who can score. And you see them linked with the Nuggets and the Rockets. Someone who has been in the league for a while, just like I stated. Someone who could use that. And I think it's interesting that he is linked to 3 very, very competitive teams and an up-and-coming team with the Rockets. And I think that the Celtics are really trying to make a push for this year. I think that they already do have a great roster, but adding a vet who could get you 10 points, have him come off the bench, I think that could be interesting. Again, I already spoke about the Nuggets and the Rockets, honestly, but 76ers, I think that'll be interesting, him coming off the bench for them as well. But it does look like the Pacers have a couple players that are on that trade block. Joe Harris, James Wiseman, Monte Morris, alongside Alec Burke. I think that James Wiseman, out of these 3 or 4, could possibly find a home. Everybody's looking for a scoring big man nowadays, and I think James Wiseman has the ability to become that. I just think he needs some work, and I pray that the Lakers don't pick him up, but that'll be another Christian Wood off the bench. Golden State, Andrew Wiggins. I'm surprised it's just Andrew Wiggins. It should be Andrew Wiggins and everybody else. I did see a quote. I don't know how true it is about everybody on the Warriors except for Steph is on the trade block. Andrew Wiggins averaging 12, 4, and 2, shooting 42% from the field, 29.6 from the three, so about 30% from the three. Very, very under. He's underperforming quite heavily. I think that the Warriors are asking too much from him. He needs to be the second option for scoring because Clay is very inconsistent. Moody could be that option, but I don't see Steve Kerr giving him a lot of time. Jordan Poole was that option, but he's gone now. So either Andrew Wiggins had to be the defender or the scorer, and he's doing neither one. Here's some teams that could be interested in him. Again, I like Andrew Wiggins. He is a slasher, an athletic guy. He can be molded into a solid defender. He could get you 10 a night, but I personally like his slashing ability. But it looks like he's linked with the Cavs, Pacers, and Raptors. I think him going to the Cavs being paired up with Donovan Mitchell and those guys over there would be interesting. And I could see a Andrew Wiggins and Karis LeVert plus maybe one or two other guys and some picks. I think that could be interesting for the Warriors there. But I'm surprised they're just showing Andrew Wiggins. I wouldn't be surprised if there are even more players on that team. Corey Joseph is on that team, so you know they're down bad. But I just don't know what's going on with him, Andrew Wiggins. But I think he needs to lock in. Victor Oladipo, injured. I feel bad for Victor Oladipo because he's solid. I think if he can just stay healthy, he'll be very, very useful. But until then, I don't know. Buddy Hield, averaging 13, 3, and 2, 44 from the field, 38 from the 3. Solid shooter from the 3. A lot of teams could use someone like that. A catch and shoot guy. Warriors, Lakers. He could probably stay in Indiana. Milwaukee. I think he'd be interesting in Milwaukee. More people for Giannis to drive and dish to, so it won't have to just be Dame and Chris Middleton. But I like Buddy Hield. Great shooter. If left open, he can hit shots. He played well in Sacramento, and he's doing decent in Indiana. So yeah, go pick up Buddy Hield. PJ Tucker, a defender. He's not really getting a lot of minutes, but he's 38. So not many teams could use someone like that. That being said, Houston, even Brooklyn, needing a defensive vet, someone who has been in the game, someone who understands of the game, he could be useful. That being said, he's not going to get you many stats or anything. A lot of his stuff will be off stat sheet stuff. So I could see him not really being a hugely sought after guy, but every team could use that. DAngelo Russell, averaging 15, 3, and 6. 37 from the field, 39 from 3. These stats don't show everything, in my opinion. I think they should also put up turnovers, bad passes, bad decisions. Get his whack ass up out of here. He played well last night, but that's the thing. He's going to play well in this game, and he'll probably play well in the next game. But then after that, he's going to have like 8 points. We need him to be that consistent third option, some nights that consistent second option, and I think that the Lakers would be better. So that's why you get someone who can like consistently score, a Dejounte Murray or a Zach LaVine, and get that nigga up out of there. And I think we'd be just a better team. He needs to realize that for us to win, you need to make better decisions. A lot of his shot selection is garbage. He does have the green light, and I think he should be one of the other players who have the green light on this team. But sometimes his green light threes or jump shots are abysmal. He straight up shoots us out of multiple games just by himself. That being said, I could see a couple teams who could use a point guard like this. I could see him going back to the Warriors. I could see him going back to Brooklyn, the Cavs, the Bulls. Teams could use someone like that. I just don't think he's that good personally, but whatever. And he plays no defense. Steven Adams, I think he's just injured. I know a couple teams could use a power screen setter, like defending center, especially nowadays because there's a lot of great athletic and great scoring big men in the league right now. And to offset that, find you a dog grinding big men like Steven Adams. He's been out for a while, but I could see him being moved, and I could see a couple teams that could use him for sure. Kyle Lowry, veteran point guard with cake. He ain't gonna do nothing but probably draw charges and clap for you without his hands. But a veteran point guard who has been through it all except for winning championships. He's been to the finals. He understands the game well. He can help you out off the bench. He got 9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 45 from the field and 43 from 3. Solid big man, but solid guard. But other than that, I don't know how much you really want him. Pat Connington, he ain't doing shit. I don't really care about him, to be honest. Shake Middleton, whatever, bro. Don't care. The Pelicans need to make a move. I don't really know much about Kira Lewis. Don't care, honestly. Larry Nance could be on that trade deadline as well. A slashing forward. But I don't think the Pelicans really need that right now. I think they need more catch and shoot guys for CJ McCollum to make the play off of, stuff like that. Evan Fournier, he's been in the league for a while, averaging 6-2-2, 25 from the field, 17 from 3. Don't pick this nigga up. He's ass. Trey Mann, he's not getting a lot of looks. Don't care. Wendell Carter Jr. I like that Magic squad. I do think that they're on the down take right now, but I still like that team. He's averaging in these last 14 games 9, 6, and 2, 45 from the field, 40 from 3. Solid player. I can see him being a useful asset on a competitive West team. But there's a lot of players. There's a lot of players out there. Robert Covington, the fall off is crazy. And Grayson Allen, his stock went up, I'm sure. The Suns need depth. So I think that the guy right under him would be solid for them to get, that being Malcolm Brogdon. But there's a lot of games that Phoenix wasn't really... there's a lot of games where they weren't in, but were in because of Grayson Allen. He hit some shots that were needed. He's shooting 50 from the field, 47 from 3. Some people don't like him. I think he's a douchebag, but he can hoop. He's a hooper. He can score. He can find his way to the cup. This is one of the few superstar players on the Suns team that is solid and pretty good. Malcolm Brogdon, I don't think his stats show his skill set quite well. Quite that well. He's averaging 15, 3, and 5. I can see that assist numbers going up, but him being that point guard that can slow your team down either off the bench or even starting, I think he'd be solid. He was 6th man of the year last year. I think people are missing out on this guy, and it's sad because I know a couple teams that could use a smart point guard that understands the game, that can get his team involved, and he'll give you 15. So Kevin Huerter, whatever, 10, 4, 3. Sacramento, I think that they do need to make some changes. I don't know if Kevin Huerter is one of the reasons, but whatever. I don't want to talk about the Spurs. I think the Spurs are just dog shit, not understanding what they have with Victor Wembanyama. He was already traded to the Pacers. Really good pickup for the Pacers, in my opinion. Jordan Clarkson, 18, 4, and 5. 42 from the field, 31 from 3. If you need an offensive guy whose whole job is to score on offense, this could be a person that you can be looking for. I can see Warriors, Brooklyn, even Miami trying to find another offensive guy for Jimmy Butler to also do his natural role, which is also playmaking. Adding Jordan Clarkson, like to come off the bench or even start, could be interesting for that Miami team as well. But solid player, can find the basket, he can slash, he can create for himself, athletic guy. I like Jordan Clarkson. Kyle Kuzma, you see those points. Everybody's averaging 20 nowadays. 6 rebounds, 4 assists. They just can't win in that damn Wizards, and I can see Kyle Kuzma joining either like the Kings. I can see him even becoming a Warrior. He's a volume shooter and a team that can get up a lot of shots, or you had the potential to get a lot of shots. I think Kyle Kuzma would be interesting there, but I don't see him getting traded by the Wizards. Looks like that's everything. But that's pretty much a lot of the big names I've on here that are being traded or could be being traded. I did mention a couple more players. Austin Reeves. I don't think he's on the trade deadline, but he could be traded for the right price. Terry Rozier, Clint Capella, Jackson Hayes. A couple players on that Lakers bench. I think that the Clippers, I don't think they need to make many moves, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do get another big man like Clint Capella, Andre Drummond. What was that center that was here? PJ Tucker. Well, no, he's already in there. Steven Adams. I think that'd be interesting. I think that they don't really need to make a lot of moves, but I think that the Clippers could make some changes. But that's all I got for you guys today. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.